Well, thank you, Walt. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate being asked. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to your DOTs for allowing you to be a part of this. We at MDT take a lot of pride in our partnerships with our contractors, with our suppliers, with the vendors. Thank you to the gold sponsors. It makes this possible so we can get together and share. We can share what we do and how we do it, and that way, hopefully, everyone can learn and doesn't have to make the same mistakes. We can learn from each other. So thank you for being here. Thank you to my team, MDT compatriots. I appreciate what you do. It's wonderful. You guys know what it's like. What Walt told you about Montana, we're also the fourth largest state in the union. So when you see a map and it looks that big, it is that big. And so what we have to do is over a very vast area. And that's, in fact, we have five different districts for MDT. District number 4, which is eastern Montana, has more square miles than the whole state of Indiana. So that's one of those fun facts that we get to deal with all the time. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Like Walt said, I'm new. I've only been here 3 years. I came from the outside. My grandfather started construction companies. My dad ran them. I got to run them. I have a really soft spot in my heart because I love equipment. I talk to Walt all the time, and Matt knows. I love front-end loaders, excavators, anything. I still even get to get out and run them. We had dig-it days in Billings where the local contractors and RDO equipment dealers bring excavators out to the fairground, and anyone, they get volunteers, any kid can go either sit on the operator's lap or get in the cab and dig. And it is so much fun. I watched a 10-year-old kid who was probably the smoothest hoe operator I've ever seen, and I want to give him an application right there and say, I know this is kind of a family, so if you say you're our family, we can hire you now and start training. The district administrator didn't let me do that, unfortunately. Something about child labor laws. But that's the fun things we get to do. You also got to see, and Walt alluded to it, we do try to innovate. We do try to learn. The dashboards are one of those using technology to help us, not to get after us, but to help us learn and be better. And again, you saw it said legislative audit. We get audited a lot. We are very visible. We're the second largest department in the state of Montana, and we have our motor pool right up front, so every legislator coming in sees all of these cars. We have been audited 3 times over the last 10, 12 years. The last audit, the auditor finally, in their recommendation, said, look somewhere else. We've done this 3 times. Walt and our maintenance crew do the best job possible. You're not going to find anything here. And it's interesting, again, you talked about some of the other states. Georgia DOT tried going and using enterprise, and they're finding out on a smaller scale what you can't get over is the distance. We're the 4th largest state. You might have an enterprise in Billings and kind of our 6 big cities, Missoula, Kalispell, Butte, Helena, Bozeman, Billings. But what happens when you get the rest of the state? Lewistown, Mouse City, Glendive, Libby. So we've looked at it and said we do the best for the state because we take care of the state. That's the other thing I'm really proud of, and I know all the DOTs are. What we do for the state is incredible. We make sure our construction bureau builds them, but then they're our baby. Then we take care of them. And how do we take care of them? With equipment. But it's not just equipment, as you saw. What it is, and you guys know it, it's people. People is what helps our equipment keep going. People is what makes us a team. People are the partnership that we need, both with our vendors, with our own staff, with the traveling public, with the legislature. And so it's fun to be a part of that because that's the dynamic part that makes it just exciting to do what we do. I'm biased. I love the equipment too, but beyond the equipment, it is how can we do things that we haven't been asked to do before. We're looking, as Montana keeps growing, we're getting more metropolitan planning areas. And so they can take care of some of their maintenance, but then they like to push more onto us. And so we're looking at, now we're suddenly getting storm drain systems. How do we maintain a storm drain system? Well, it's more Vactrons. We don't only have one state this big, one doesn't work. How do you get more? So we have lots of challenges, but we have opportunities to partner with those cities, and we're trying to do that with both Billings and Missoula. See if they will do some of the maintenance in their area, and then we can take it from there beyond and kind of share the load. So again, that's back to the relationships, what we're here to grow and learn from, and what I think will really carry us forward. And there are innovations. Again, thank you to the vendors. They help us. Talking to a vendor before this, looking at putting a QR code on the wear blade. And that way, as some of the younger kids, they can, I shouldn't say younger kids, all of us, we all know what QR codes are. You can take a picture of it and get a video of it. So it gives you some basic bullet points. What's the best use of that? And so those are the kind of innovations I think are wonderful and that we'll start integrating. There's lots out there. We are very, I think, in my opinion, very aggressive at being early adopters. At what can we do to help our team? What can we do to help all the people that are spread all over Montana make sure we can maintain and keep Montanans safe and everyone who uses our roads safe? Because that's what we're charged to do. Keep it maintained, keep it safe, keep everything moving, and make sure we have some fun doing it. So, and because we do like fun, I know you guys are waiting for a joke. My team is used to me telling jokes. So a tree walks into a bar, bartender looks at him, says, "What would you have?" He says, "Anything but a logger." So with that, I have opened myself up to questions. Any questions? You want more jokes? Two guys walked into a bar, the third one ducked. Okay, not as good as the other one. How about the dung beetle walks into a bar and says, "Is that stool taken?" Why can't you hear a psychiatrist go to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. There we go. Now we're into the bathroom jokes, so I'll cut it good. But any questions? Well, thank you again for taking the time, for sharing, for being a part of this. We look forward to having you back again in 20 years, but let's take advantage of the time right now. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's a beautiful state. And please, I thank you and ask lots of questions, and I appreciate your time here.